All right, I've been asked this question a lot, and it's regarding Horse Collar. People have been asking why I'm not picking up Horse Collar like I'm picking up other economy upgrades. And if you've been watching my tournament games or even just my ranked games on stream, you might have noticed the same thing. And the pattern is that I seem to be skipping or delaying Horse Collar a lot more than other economy upgrades, like for example, the wood upgrades. Well, I'm going to go ahead and explain to you guys why. But to start, I'm going to show you guys this game from NEC4, or just 2 seconds of this game, where I'm in Imperial Age, or just clicking up to Imperial Age. I've got Bowsaw, so heavy priority on the wood upgrades, but I still haven't even touched Horse Collar yet. And the interesting thing is, we have to understand what does Horse Collar actually do. The farm upgrades are completely different than the wood upgrades. The wood upgrades give you faster collection rate on all your lumberjacks. And so it's very easy to understand how and how fast they pay back. They pay back by, of course, chopping wood faster, and they pay back within a few minutes usually. And that's a really quick payback on the eco upgrades. It makes it very easy to just invest into it, and then 5 minutes later, I'm already profiting. It's easy to see how this is worth it. The problem is Horse Collar and farm upgrades in general work completely different. Horse Collar basically just gives more food on your farm. And so the idea is it pays back by giving you more food on the farm than you know, for the wood that you paid for it. And so it's not giving you faster collection rate per second, it's just giving you a better conversion rate on your wood to food ratio. This is really good for the long game. However, for the short term, it actually takes forever to pay back. And I'm not sure about the actual numbers on this. Like, this is not a mathematical video, this is just a pure logic video. And so my reasoning is, I personally think that the early game is super important, especially in a game where one small thing at the top level can cost you the game or can win you the game. And so for me personally, I'm trying to invest a lot into my early game and give myself the most chances to win with, i.e., a forward castle, win off that position, that kind of thing. And the last thing I want to showcase from this game is the res collected. This is a very important statistic that was present in all matches in NEC4, and it really shows why I don't really like the farm upgrades. In this video, obviously, or in this game, there's a lot of factors here, so I'm not going to compare my resources collected with Vipers and draw a conclusion. That doesn't really make any sense. But what I will show is that my resources collected in general seems to be very healthy, and I haven't even invested onto farm upgrades. So if you consider this, I'm 400 ahead naturally, but this is not because I skipped Horse Collar, don't worry. However, I'm also an extra 150 resources ahead because I skipped Horse Collar, and then an extra 250 res ahead because I skipped Heavy Plow. Now, how much of this res I spent reseeding the farms that I would have naturally had, who knows? But for me personally, I feel like in the first 25 minutes, I'm not getting enough payback from Horse Collar. However, those 150 plus 250 res that I saved by not getting the farm upgrades, that's cold hard cash. That's resources that I'm using to get to imp faster, to get my push going, and to try to win the game. And that for me is much more worth it than that long-term wood to food ratio that Horse Collar is supposed to help by paying back. And so that's the reason why I skip it. I prioritize my early game a lot more. I'm not saying it's correct. I don't know the math on it exactly. But as you can see, the logic seems good. And this is how I choose to do it. And this is why it's a Hera quick tip. I recommend you guys try it out and see how it works for you. Obviously, you want to eventually pick up Horse Collar, because if the game drags to like 2 hours, you want to have that upgrade. 150 resources in the early is a big deal, but 150 resources in late game isn't that big of a deal. So you just pick it up at some point whenever you can afford it, whenever it doesn't disturb your eco, and it's just going to feel really smooth for you guys. So that's kind of how I feel about it. I'll sometimes pick it up early, but most of the time I'll skip it, especially in a tournament game. Thanks for watching. Catch you guys next time. Peace.